Hello, my lovelies. If you want to know how to make this beautiful hairpiece Chioma Ikoku is wearing, aka Chioma Good Head for JP 2025, please keep on watching and do not skip. Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. This is my Sobe. So, to start off, we're going to be working with this velvet bias. We'll also be needing our beads. We'll also need our headband. We'll also need the millinery wire and this copper wire. You see it in the market. And also, we'll be working with our UHU glue or any glue you feel comfortable working with. All right, to start off, first thing, this our bias is a half an inch bias, and I decided to cut it into two till the end. Reason being that I'm going to be using it to wrap the millinery wire. So this is what it looks like after cutting it into two. And because I'm wrapping it with a millinery wire, we don't need it too far. We need it as thin as possible. So once you've been able to cut it, you're going to be using the whole of this millinery wire the way you see it in the market. Please do not make the mistake that I made. I had a little leftover millinery wire. I wrapped that one first, started working on the fascinator, and I discovered that it was too small. So I will advise you work with the whole the whole yards of millinery wire. I can't remember how many yards it is in one row, but just ensure that you use all of them, wrap all of them. So at the end of the day, when I was buying the bias, I think I bought about 10 yards of the bias. But at the end of the day, what I was able to use was about 5 yards of the bias. So good luck to you. So this is how I wrap my millinery wire just to cover the millinery wire all entirely. I hear people use what's it called? There's this crinoline tube, yeah. But from what I saw in Chioma's work, it wasn't a cleanerine wire that was used to wrap it. Because if you use that, I think it is a little bit bulky. So I didn't want to risk that. I said, okay, let me just go ahead and wrap the millinery wire with this. The other things you can also use to wrap the wire, I think there are some tapes or so. I don't know what it's called, but it's a sticky tape. I think that would work, or actually, that would be perfect. But I couldn't lay my hands on it. For the sake of this video, we'll be working with our velvet bias. So please do not judge me. So you're just going to keep on wrapping it like this. You keep on wrapping. This is the outcome of my wrapping. And like I said, this was that remaining half I was trying to wrap, and it wasn't so long. Now, this is how you fold. Once you make a circle, then you make a heart, fold it inwards, and then you wrap with a tape. So at the end of the day, this is how I kept on coiling. So I'll advise make sure you just use one. Don't cut your wire. Use it and keep wrapping and wrapping. And this is how to achieve it. I just want to show you how to achieve it because, like I explained before, I had already wrapped and I discovered that it wasn't enough for me. So if you were to use the whole wire, this is the outcome, how you just be wrapping and you just be going. Try not to cut it so you won't be having too many joints. But it's okay if you have a joint like you're seeing, you still go ahead, use your what's it called? Your velvet bias and cover up. So I'm trying to join to still have my continuation, like I said. So just keep watching, you understand. It's very simple. There is no method to this thing. All you want to do is make a circle and then you bend it a little bit to form a heart shape. You go again, you just keep going until you have as many as you want and as wide as you want it, which is okay. So, guys, if you've gotten to this point of this video and you're already finding value in my videos, why don't you click on that subscribe button and then you join the family? Guys, I see your comments, I see your likes, I see all the follows and all the subscription you've been giving in on this channel. I'm so grateful. Guys, we are working our way to 10,000 subscribers. Guys, I'm super grateful and I'm happy that you guys really find value in this work that I'm putting out here. So this is me saying thank you. So if you're a new person watching this video, please do not leave this page without tapping on that subscribe button. And you're welcome. Then, secondly, guys, I just want to emphasize on the ads that are being placed on my video. If you really find value in what I'm doing, I'm not saying you should pay me, but just take your time and watch some of my ads to the end. That's the only way YouTube can, you know, pay me a little cents to my account. So thank you guys. So from where I am right now, all I'm saying is that I'm just going ahead to wrap the joints with the same velvet bias to have a clean finish. So as you're working, just ensure that you don't have too many joints like mine. That was why I explained further that you just need to have a very long millinery wire, no more too many joining, so that even if you're having joints, it's just going to be in one or two places. So you know the guys, if I see mistakes in my work, I'll just be pointing it out so that you guys will not make that same mistake that I made. So basically, I'm just joining. You just keep going, and there is nothing much to it. I wasn't satisfied, so I had to keep going and going and going. Still the same method. Fill it up the way you want. Now I had to move to a black background so that you'll be able to see and understand what I've been doing. So these are the joints that I'm talking about. There were too many, but all the same, it came out fine. It came out very neat and nice. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out about 2 inches of our copper wire, just like you are seeing. And next thing I'm going to do is at the edge of one side, I'm going to be twisting it, twisting and forming like a spiral circle rather, just to form it so that when I pass it through my bead, it won't pass through. When I put in my beads, it's not going to pass through or fall out. So that's the essence of twisting the edge. And at the same time, do not make it too big and too obvious. So this is it, and this is what it looks like. Then you're not gonna stop there, because if you notice in that Chioma's head piece, she had beads on it. So I'm folding it. I'm using my plier to bend it a little bit because my hands were paining me at that point because of all the millinery wire work that I've been doing. So I bent it a little bit, and the next thing, the excesses that I'm seeing, I'm cutting it off. So basically, what we are trying to make at the edge is to form a loop in which our thread can pass through. Because if you look at Choma's beads, they were dangling, they were not stiff on the band. So that was why we had to come up with this and create something like this so that by the time we put it, it won't be too stiff. Now, next thing we're going to be doing with our UH glue, we are sticking our wire worked fascinator to the headband. You hold it, give it some minutes so that it can stick. And next thing we're using our UHU glue to wrap the fascinator with the headband together. So we don't just ensure we don't just leave it with the sticky what's it called, glue that we glued on it. Just go ahead after you stick it down. Go ahead and still wrap your bias around it to make sure it's firm, to make sure that you don't hear stories that touch the heart. So this is just like an extra reinforcement we are giving to this work. Now, while I was doing this, I wasn't happy that I was using this black to cover, because my fascinator is um cream colored and I'm using a black bias to cover up. But when I looked at Choma's work, I noticed that it was black they used to. So by the time you put it on the head, everything more like disappears. So whatever works for you, that's fine. In other words, if you try using the same cream color to wrap the Alice band, you'll be seeing cream color on the Alice band. And then if you look at it, if you try covering your Alice band again with the cream color, it might not really match well. So guys, the next thing we are doing is to put our bead. I've already gone ahead to put some bead, but just to show you guys how to put the bead, I passed my needle and thread through one of the stems, and then through that hole on the bead, I passed my tiny thread. The thread that is, I didn't double the thread, it was just two strands of thread. So after doing that, I'm knotting it to make sure that it stands. And if you notice after knotting, you notice that your bead is dangling just like Choma's own. It's not stiff. So try not to pass your thread through the holes of the bead. Rather, do this method so that you'll be able to dangle and give it that effect and good finish. At the end of the day, you cut off the excess thread. You can still go ahead and use your gum to hold it down a little bit more. Go ahead and add more beads, and voila, this is the work. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.